Hey, what's up? It's David Duford at davidduford.com, where I help insurance agents like you become top producers. And today, we're going to do a quick 10-part, 10 tips series of tips for new insurance agents to maximize their success in the field. So without further ado, let's jump right in. So number one, pick one product. This is probably one of the most important pieces of advice you'll ever hear from me. I think simplification is the absolute necessity to give yourself the best chances of success. If you don't try to give yourself the simplified approach, this whole business becomes too complicated and you begin to lose focus. You begin to gain a level of dissatisfaction and lack of confidence, and eventually you just won't do anything or much less much of anything. And that means you won't help people who really need it, and you won't make the kind of income that you would like to do. So picking one product makes the process simple. You get right to work, you know who you're helping, you know the process to do it, and the process is a lot easier when it's simple. Number two, get a mentor. This kind of goes hand in hand with picking one product. It's important to learn how to sell insurance with somebody who actually knows how to sell insurance on an experiential basis. Take for myself, shameless plug. I have been personal producing since 2011 when I got into the final expense business, and I know how to sell insurance. I've done it successfully for many years and have taught hundreds of agents how to do the same. So whether you work with myself or somebody else, it's important to work with somebody who actually has in the trenches experience. Number three, I recommend for the most part to stay away from anything that looks, smells, or tastes like a multi-level marketing operation. This isn't some sort of stab at anybody that's gone that direction. This isn't me trying to say that they're a pyramid scheme or not. I think most MLMs are legit, but where they're not legit is on what they can do for the agent. Many times they just want to recruit everybody you know, sell them an insurance plan, and rinse and repeat the process, with leaving you hanging in the air without much training or capability to execute and maximize your income. It's notorious that multi-level marketers tend to start agents off with significantly lower commission than what they could otherwise find. That's another reason why it's a poor deal for an agent. The best thing is to find final expense focused agencies that want you to produce, not recruit, and become good at that first before you start recruiting a large downline. Number four, interview your prospective agency. So this is important because you think in most circumstances that your employer is going to interview you. Well, in this circumstance, you actually want to interview your agency. You want to ask some questions like, what do you do to help me out? Why should I work with you instead of another agency? And just sit back and see how they respond. Some people will be aggressive, irritated. Others will be okay with that question. And what you're going to find is that the kind of character and personality that each agency has will be revealed in these kind of lines of questions. Because remember, you're the asset that they're looking to recruit because you bring them income on a passive level. And every agency wants a lot of those kind of agents, so don't be afraid to ask the tough questions. Number five, find a solid prospecting system that you can duplicate. It's important not to go into business in the insurance sales world with a process that only one person knows how to do. Sure, they may make a lot of money, but they may not be able to duplicate that process in you. On the other hand, you should find an insurance agency that will train you on how a process works that has been shown to work for a multitude of people in a multitude of environments. Take, for example, final expense leads. Great way to start in this business. Works very well in urban, metro, or rural environments. There's been many people who have been successful in selling final expense using direct mail. It's a great way to start if you like final expenses. Just use that system, which has been proven to work in different markets. Number six, focus on fact finding, not hardcore selling. Look, hardcore selling is out. It's not about how many objections you can rebuttal. It's not about how many times you have to hear no before you hear yes. It's all about pre-qualifying, asking solid, good questions to uncover the need and desire of your prospects. The great thing is that means you don't have to be pushy. You don't have to be cheesy. You can focus on really what matters to your client and figure out if what you sell makes sense for them, and then proceed to sell them if it does. Number seven, start with mass markets. I like this piece of advice because I think the biggest problem most agents have is finding enough prospects to sell. If you work a mass market, there's a mass level of people to sell to. Like, for example, for mass markets include final expense, Medicare supplements. People 65 and older all have Medicare, and those are multi-millions, going to double in size in the next 20 years. Mortgage protection markets, as well as annuities. Anything in the senior market, let's say, is great. So find something that gives you a lot of opportunity to see a lot of people, because that's really the answer to successful, continually successful insurance sales. Number eight, remember, you're paying your dues in the beginning. You're not going to make the most money right out the gate. There was one famous insurance producer recruiter that said, your first 4 years are like being in medical school. You're not going to make a lot of money. You're going to work your ass off. But ultimately, once you get past the learning curve, you're going to find you're going to make a huge and substantial income in most circumstances that offset all the investment of time that you put into the business in the beginning. So I think that's really important, is have a long-term perspective, not a get-rich-quick perspective. Number 9, go independent as soon as possible. A lot of people like the idea of starting with a captive agency. They feel they're going to get more hand-holding, support, and training, or maybe a multi-level marketing environment because there's this brand name and appeal to it. What a lot of people realize is that the ability to make a lot of money is really not that great in these environments. Commissions are lower, micromanagement is higher, and it can tend to be a frustrating process. So look for an exit strategy as soon as possible. You want to be able to be in a position to maximize your revenues, and being independent, representing different companies, usually does a better job at it. And number 10, realize that most important of all, the insurance sales business is a numbers game. You have got to see the people to be successful in this business. If you don't focus on seeing the people and getting in front of as many people as possible, you will fail out no matter what you're selling, no matter what training you get, because it all comes down to presenting what you do to as many people as humanly possible. In short, the magic number is 15 presentations a week for a full-time agent to make great money, regardless of whatever it is you're selling. So do whatever it takes humanly possible to see 15 people a week. So in conclusion, top 10 tips. 1, pick up one product. 2, get a mentor. 3, stay away from MLM. 4, interview your prospective agency. 5, find a solid prospecting system to duplicate. 6, focus on fact finding. 7, start with mass markets. 8, pay your dues. 9, go indie as soon as possible. And 10, remember, it's a numbers game. If you like this training, please subscribe to this YouTube channel. I do a lot of videos like this all the time, several times a week. Like this video, share it to those new agent friends out there that need to hear this tough but realistic advice. If you want to learn more about joining my agency, go to daviddufour.com, click the button at the top that says Join David's Agency, then request more information on the programs that I offer. And last but not least, we'll see you next time. David Dufour at daviddufour.com, logging off. See you guys later. Bye-bye.